A king does not beg, a king commands. So why are insiders saying King Charles sent Prince Harry a private ultimatum with a ticking 30-day clock? Because this is not about gossip anymore. This is about a reported letter. A letter people claim was hand-delivered, not emailed, not couriered, not left to chance. And if the claims are true, it is the coldest message Harry has ever received from his own father. Here's the mystery. For years, we heard talks, peace talks, reconciliation, maybe a quiet meeting. But now the story has shifted. Sources are saying this was not a chat. It was a deadline, a straight choice with no middle ground. Stay married and be cut off, or separate and be let back in. But that's not the real story, because the scary part is not the word divorce. The scary part is what comes after it. Titles, money, access, and the kind of exile you don't come back from. Now, let me be very clear. None of this is confirmed by the palace. The palace will not confirm it. They never confirm the messy stuff. So we are working with what is being alleged by people who claim direct knowledge of the message and its delivery. And our job is to follow the logic, follow the timeline, and see why this 30 days claim keeps popping up like smoke from a closed room. So let's start where every real investigation starts, not with feelings, with behavior. For 5 years, Harry and Meghan have been stuck in the same loop. They leave, they speak, they release, they sue, they hint at more. Then they act shocked when the family pulls back again. It's a cycle, and cycles end one of two ways. Someone forgives everything, or someone draws a line so hard nobody can pretend anymore. And here's what nobody tells you. A line is not drawn when you are angry. A line is drawn when you are finished. Sources claim this ultimatum was not impulsive. They claim it was discussed, weighed, planned. They claim it involved legal advice. And they claim senior royals were aware of the direction, including the heir and the queen consort. Again, alleged. But look at the pattern. When institutions move, they move slowly. And when they finally move, they move like a door slamming. Now, what would push a father to do this to his son? People close to the palace claim there was a breaking point in late 2025. A short London visit, a private meeting, the kind of meeting you don't leak if it went well. And they claim it did not go well. They claim it was tense. They claim it was unproductive. They claim there was one condition that kept coming up again and again. The condition was simple. If there is any return, any soft landing, any path back, it must be clean. It must be controlled. It must be stable. And it must not include the chaos that the palace believes followed Harry out the door. That's the allegation. And Harry's alleged response? The same one he has given for years. We are a package deal. Now pause on that. A package deal is fine in Hollywood. It's fine in a business partnership. But in the monarchy, a package deal is a threat because it removes the palace's only tool: control. The palace can handle scandal. They can handle embarrassment. What they cannot handle is a rogue branch using the family name while publicly fighting the family itself. Wait, it gets worse. Because the alleged ultimatum is not just emotional, it's strategic. Think about what Harry's brand has been since 2020. The story, the struggle, the escape, the truth, the behind-the-scenes pain. That story made money. It made headlines, it made deals. And every time that machine turns, it drags the crown with it. And that's where the "you can't have it both ways" line comes in. That phrase keeps showing up because it fits the central contradiction. You can't say "leave us alone" and then sell the inside of the house. You can't say "we want privacy" and then build a business model around being watched. You can't say "we are free" and still trade on royal titles, royal drama, royal access, royal outrage. So if you are King Charles, what do you do? If the claims are true, you do what kings have done for centuries. You issue terms, you set a deadline, you force the decision. Now let's talk about the part that makes this feel real to people, not the words, the delivery. Sources claim this message was not sent casually. They claim it was delivered by a trusted aide who flew to California specifically for that purpose. They claim the aide waited while Harry read it. No commentary, no comfort, no extra explanation. Then they claim the aide got back on a plane and went straight back to London. If that detail is true, it tells you one thing. This was meant to feel heavy, final, like a judge handing down a sentence. But that's where it gets even stranger, because this is not just family drama. This is monarchy math. A working royal is not just a person, it's a role, a symbol, a taxpayer question, a security question, a press question, an optics question. So when Harry exists in the gray zone, half royal, half celebrity, it creates constant confusion, and confusion is weakness. If you believe the reports, Charles is done with confusion. And look at the timing. Charles is in his 70s. His reign is not expected to be long the way his mother's was. He wants stability on his watch. He wants the heir to inherit a cleaner situation, not a mess that keeps bleeding into every news cycle. And if that is his goal, you can see why the pressure would go up now, not later. Now here is the next layer. William. Whether you like him or not, William is the future face of the crown. And every time Harry reignites the feud, William takes the hit. Not because he responds, but because he does not. Silence becomes a strategy, and strategies have a cost. Resentment grows. The distance becomes permanent. The door slowly locks itself. So when sources say William's patience is gone, people believe it. Because it fits what we have seen. The cold stares, the separate paths, the lack of contact, the absence of even basic warmth. And then there's the queen consort factor. Some reports claim she has been pushing for a clean, hard boundary for a long time. Not because she wants drama, but because she wants the drama to stop. Again, alleged. But it explains the enough is enough mood that keeps leaking through. Now, let's get to the central object in this whole story. The alleged letter. I am not going to present it as proven. I'm going to present it the way these stories spread. As a claimed copy, as a reported message, as words people say exist. And what do those words supposedly do? They frame it as a father writing, not a king. They frame it as love with consequences. They frame it as I tried. They frame it as I waited. And then they frame it as now you choose. This is where most people lose the game. Because they think the ultimatum is about love. It's not. It's about leverage. If Harry stays married, the alleged consequences are brutal. Removal from duties, removal from remaining royal status, a complete cutoff from family support. And the most painful part, the one that hits deeper than money, is the word permanent. Permanent exile is not a timeout. It's a new identity. But if Harry leaves, the alleged reward is just as dramatic. Restoration of status, a controlled return, a path back, money through appropriate channels, and most of all, the one thing Harry has never had since the split, a way to stop the bleeding. Now you might be thinking, why would Harry even consider it? Because the other option is terrifying. If you remove the royal layer, what is left? A couple in California with massive expenses, security bills, and a brand that has taken hit after hit. A Spotify deal that collapsed, a Netflix future always questioned, public fatigue, lawsuits, and a constant fight with the press that never ends. Even if you love them, you can see the problem. Their story is tied to the crown. If the crown cuts the cord, the oxygen changes. And that's why the alleged ultimatum, if real, is a trap. Because both roads hurt. One road hurts emotionally, the other road hurts financially, socially, historically, and now the clock becomes the weapon. Because a short deadline doesn't give you time to craft the perfect PR story. It doesn't give you months to soften the landing. It forces an ugly choice while emotions are hot and options are limited. But that's not the end of it. Because the next question is the one that makes this feel like a real chess move. Why give 30 days at all? Why not cut him off immediately? Here's the cold logic people keep missing. A deadline creates a record. It creates due process inside a family. It creates the appearance of fairness. It lets the king say, I gave him a choice. He chose. That matters for public perception. It matters for history books. It matters for the crown's moral posture. So if this ultimatum exists, it wasn't only for Harry, it was also for everyone watching. And now we arrive at the most dangerous part. What happens if Harry does nothing? Sources claim the letter's alleged message is clear. Silence equals a decision. No reply equals you chose to stay. And if that's the case, then doing nothing is not safe. Doing nothing is walking straight into the consequence without even controlling the story. So, what does Harry do? There are only a few possible scenarios people are whispering about. He accepts the demand. He rejects it. Or he tries to negotiate a middle ground that the alleged letter says does not exist. And that's where the story gets even stranger. Because if he tries to negotiate, he risks triggering the exact outcome he is trying to avoid. If the alleged terms are no negotiation, then asking for negotiation becomes the answer. Now remember the key detail the transcript keeps repeating: the countdown. According to the claims in this story, the letter was delivered in October 2025. That means the deadline, if you believe the reports, would have been closing in fast. And some versions of this rumor even claim Harry had less than 3 weeks left at one point. Whether that number is exact or not, the pressure is the point. The pressure is the headline. And here is the open secret inside this open secret. This is not just Harry's crisis, it's Meghan's crisis too. Because if Harry goes back, Meghan becomes the woman left outside the gate. And if Harry stays, Meghan becomes the woman blamed for the exile. Either way, the public narrative turns brutal. So, the real question is not, will Harry choose love or duty? The real question is, who blinks first when the door starts closing? And the next detail is the one that changes everything. Because sources claim Meghan's reaction to that alleged letter was not calm, not quiet, and not private at all.